A product contains B vitamins, or we call them coenzymes. This product is used in lactating cows. 3 grams per cow per day, 1.5 grams of these coenzymes, affecting an animal of 600, 700 kilograms, right? And this is converting to around 5% feed efficiency.
Welcome to Rumination, the podcast that discusses and shares practical information that impacts our ruminant industry around the world. Hi, this is Chris Quinn, your host, and today our discussion will focus on innovative nutrition systems with our guest, Dr. Abdallah Zankar. Dr. Zankar is a veterinarian with a master's in veterinary science and obstetrics and gynecology in dairy cows. His love for the ruminant animal started at a very young age, which eventually brought him to study veterinary medicine in Russia, where at the same time, he had to learn Russian. Can you imagine doing that? Abdallah certainly did it. So Abdallah spent several years as a solo vet in private practice in Lebanon, after which he joined the Al Amarai Group, managing a 2,000 head startup dairy in Jordan. And after 15 years of developing this dairy, he immigrated to Canada, where he joined Jefo Nutrition, first as our global technical ruminant manager, and today as the global VP of sales. Today, Dr. Zankar will expand on the growing interest in applications of precision nutrition with the implementation of innovative nutrient delivery systems. Dr. Zankar, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Chris.
Abdallah, before we get too deep in today's subject, I'm really fascinated. Tell us what it was like learning Russian while studying veterinary medicine, and if there's any secrets you can share with those wanting to learn another language.
Yeah, it's a rough question. I mean, in my case, it was an obligation to learn Russian, right? I got a scholarship in Russia, and I have to move 1988. It was USSR at that time, and of course, I was obliged to learn Russian for 6 months, and I was joining after that the vet school. So 6 months, it was enough or not enough. It's your call. You have to join the vet school, right? So at the beginning, it was stressful, and then I started to enjoy the language. And honestly, I went through different classes, and I did get a certificate around 600 or 800 hours. I don't remember, and to teach Russian. So I have a certificate. I can teach Russian. Okay, I need it. I don't need it now. I don't know. But I just want to raise few advantages on learning languages, because I came from Arabic background, right? And then I moved to Russia, and then I came back. I started virtually talking to people from England, from USA, English, and I learned English. And then I moved to Quebec today, and I want to learn French. I started a bit learning French. So just to put a few points here, the advantages is, number one, is to merge in the culture. It's very important. If you want to merge in a culture, to have to know the language. It's very important. It's a code, right? You plug the code, you get the things right. So on the other side is that because I speak more than 2 languages or 3 languages, I start to feel myself like I can be, you can be, he can be, she can be multi tasker. So you can just improve your strength, okay, by connecting, right? It's very important. One more thing I could raise it also an advantage, which is the advantage on understanding the wordings. I mean, it's also, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but it's very interesting for people to understand this. The orders were like ruined, right? Rewinding the words. So it's like you are driving backward. I drove on the other side in Australia. It was challenging. Driving backward will be much challenging. Yeah. And lastly, maybe it's a reason that you will meet this language in your life sometime. I'm now discussing or talking to people, our customers in Ukraine and Russia. Okay, so this is also an advantage that we have to raise it. So I will advise anyone to learn a language, an extra language. Could be second, could be third, could be fourth. An extra language to feel the difference and feel the power.
Thank you. That's fascinating. Appreciate it. So today we were going to talk about precision nutrition and how it relates to ruminants. And I know in your past work as a farm manager and your role even today at Jefo, tell me what you've seen as some of the key impacts of adopting a precision nutrition approach.
Precision nutrition is a way to make an animal to use the diet and the nutrients in a more efficient way. So how can we make these animals use the feed efficiently, right? So this is the main target, I think, behind every farmer, every nutritionist that working today on the feed industry. So understanding this, we will need to be sure that we are, first of all, feeding the right quality of feed. And of course, at the same time, the ensure the absorption of these nutrients. And this is, I think, where it gets a bit tough sometimes, because in different areas in the world, I travel many countries in the world, and I see the quality of feed, the way of feeding, the mixing, the management side, which is not perfect sometimes, and this will give you a chance to lose track on mixing, on delivering this feed, and this also will lead to malabsorption of these, or digestion or absorption of these ingredients. So accordingly, nutritionists start to look at how can we add some ingredients in the feed to help improve the digestibility, first of all, in the rumen side, right? Because it's a fermentation, and it's again absorption. So we have to start thinking about the rumen, but sometimes we forget thinking about the intestine, where the absorption, 80% of the absorption happening. So in this case, nutritionists start to think about this, and of course they are doing great job on formulating and diets to improve this digestibility and this absorption.
And when we talk about absorption, there's different innovative ways that we're delivering nutrients today to the lower intestinal tract. And we talk about a lot of different ways of protecting ingredients. I'm wondering if you could expand a bit more on that concept and how it relates to delivering a more precise diet to ruminants.
Yeah. So again, if you look today at the world, there are a lot of big companies are acquiring other companies. Okay, and you start to think, why this is happening? I mean, what's happening here, right? So why this huge company need this small company in Europe, or in, I don't know, North America, or in Southeast Asia? I mean, I think the main target behind it is to acquire a technology. Okay, so behind all these companies, that there is a know-how technology, and this is why I think these guys are targeting these companies. Today, if we talk about ourselves at Jefo, we have a technology where we have been testing it since 25, 30 years, and we have been successfully using it in the market. If we look at a small example, right? A product contains B vitamins, or we call them coenzymes. This product is used in lactating cows. 3 grams per cow per day. 3 grams per cow per day. 1.5 grams of these coenzymes, affecting an animal of 600, 700 kilograms, right? And this is converting to around 5% feed efficiency. And this, again, it's a study. And this efficiency converted to 3 to 5% more milk production, 50 grams of protein, 40 grams of fat. At the end of the lactation, 20% less culling rate, and expecting 9 to 10% less emissions. So this is, I mean, it's a huge 3 grams of products. So I think the future will be these technologies.
Fascinating area of research and of what we can deliver to the intestinal tract to really meet these animals' nutrient requirements more precisely. It's as you say, it's the reason why larger companies are looking for these type of technologies to deliver to the marketplace. And at Jefo, you've been doing it for many years already.
So Jefo has a technology, and I'm talking about this because I have been using this technology for many years before I joined Jefo 2014. For more than 10 years using this technology in Jordan. So the technology is that where we can deliver where we can deliver the nutrients to the intestinal level. So, and this where we can make them best absorption. Okay, so we give the nutrients to best absorb, and this will, of course, help the animal to use these nutrients properly. Okay, we target the liver health, and this is our target. So we will see that these cows will be more strong or strong enough during calving time or after calving, during milking time, during peak production. Okay, very strong and very well performing to deliver the right amount of milk, and of course to produce and reproduce. Okay, and get these cows after having them pregnant to the next lactation. So also here we are talking about longevity. So longevity is a key of keeping these herds alive.
100%. 100%. Longevity that pulls into the sustainability of the agriculture and the ruminant industry. Thank you for that. So as we wind up, Dr. Zankar, what are some of the key points you would like to leave with the audience today when it comes to the subject of maybe more precisely meeting the nutrient requirements of the ruminant animal?
I think in the coming year, to be good is not enough. To be good is not enough. The challenge that we are having today in the feed industry and in the animal industry, it's huge, and that future will be also challenging. I hope not, but this is what we can see. It's a forecast. Okay, so if we look at profitability, it has to be extraordinary to get better profits. So good, as I said, it's not enough. We have to be extraordinary in the future. Consumers today, not like before, they are much smarter. They look at us and they look at the animal industry. They look at our cows. They want to know what these cows are eating. They want to know what we are injecting these cows, what we are feeding them, right? So accordingly, what is going in these cows, it will be going in their feed. So they start to understand this. And there's a lot of consumers today, they look at this. So we have to be smarter, and we have also to look at how we can make these cows deliver and give a safe product, safe milk, safe meat. So it's important, the safety of the food. So this is, I think, number one thing I want to raise it, and I want to give to our attendees today. Number two, Jefo is introducing a technology to compete with the trash. So today, at the farm level, we use a lot of antibiotics. We inject a lot of vitamins, antibiotics, dextrose, drenching, all these kind of containers. It will be thrown in the trash. We compete against the trash. We vote against the trash. We want that these farmers start to prevent rather than treating animals. Please start to prevent rather than treating animals, and use a precision nutrition solutions that can help you to improve your animal life, and of course to improve your life and your family life. So this is, I think, messages that I want to raise today with our attendees.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Abdallah. Thank you. Thank you for your time today.
No problem. It's a pleasure to see you, Chris. And you know what? One more thing that it's always in my heart.
Yes.
I want on your stage to thank all the dairy partners who believed in us and who supported us and who are making better life for them, for their cows, for themselves, and for their families. And also, I want to ask many other dairy farmers, please don't hesitate to try things, and don't be resisting to change, because the future will be difficult and we have to help each other. Thank you, Chris.
No, absolutely. Great words. Wound up in the end, Abdallah. We have to do better, and we're here to help, and we can help each other. Thank you. And I want to surely thank our audience for listening to us today, so that you don't miss past and future episodes of Rumination Podcast. You can subscribe to our channel at jefo.ca, or you can find us at Apple and Google Podcasts, as well as Spotify. This podcast was brought to you by Jefo Nutrition, precision nutrition for a growing world. Have a great day.